And then Tim came along. Do you think you were too young to get married at 24?
Yes.
What do you think are the 3 ingredients that are needed in a healthy relationship?
He doesn't say this to me. He doesn't. What do you do yourself? Know that you have to put it on the table. The question is, how do you put it on the table?
What about Tim made you know he's the one? She was like, text me when it's at 5 million. Can you imagine?
The material things that you saw could not make Tim open that car for me.
Ooh.
Full stop.
Good night. Let's go. That's it. It's over. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are returning, what's up? If you are new, hello and welcome. My name is Aggie. For those that don't know, I am a professional dancer, and this channel is focused on my 2 passions, which are wellness and all things dance, sprinkled with some vlogs and things like that. In this video, I'm so excited, guys, to have my beautiful mum on here. Say hi.
Hi everyone.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling quite good actually.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel quite energetic. I'm looking forward to what you're bringing on the table.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm so excited to have my mom. For those that follow me on Instagram, my mom is like my best friend, and I have her a lot. We have so much fun. So this video is love lessons Q&A with my amazing mom. So as you followed the story, guys, mom and Tim have been together for almost 8 years, and they've been married for 1. And they recently had a TikTok video go viral that I recorded. I was literally just recording just for Instagram, and then I was like, let me put it on TikTok. It's got 5.3 million views and counting, and it's made me just think so much of their love, because I've had the pleasure of witnessing their journey and their story for the last 8 years. So aside from the fact that they went viral, they have been a very big inspiration for me, watching them and their love and how they've evolved. So I decided to do this video, a Q&A of questions that some of you guys have asked in my DMs, some questions that I want you guys to hear my mom say. Me and my mom, we have a lot of conversations like this, don't we? She does. I would say she's my biggest confidant when it comes to love, when it comes to just life advice, because she just knows so much. She's just such a wise little chap. So the conversations we have, I just thought I'd put the camera on and structure it in a way that you guys can benefit, and I don't know who might hear it and actually learn something. So this is love lessons, so stay tuned. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up as you go, and comment down below any lessons your mom has taught you, because you know, sharing is caring. So let's get into it. So I thought I would start with mom. Can you just like tell us just a brief overview of your love history, for anyone who doesn't know, how they can just know a brief background before I go into the questions that I have for you today?
Yeah, well, that is a very interesting question, because sometimes when people talk about love, you only think about the love you have at the moment. But looking back, I think our lives then were very different from the lives you have today, because we had so much fear for our parents. So sometimes most people were fearful of trying anything. And I don't know whether we respected them. I don't know whether that was the society expectation. I don't know. But we were not like today, where you think like, oh, a 12-year-old can say, there is a boy who is looking at me, and the mom just laughs. So it was a bit of a no-go area when we were growing up. And I remember I went through school without a boyfriend at all until I finished my Form 4. Let me say, I think I was very also focused with my school. Not every girl was like me. Everyone has their lives. Even those times, there were still girls who were dropping out of school with pregnancies and all this kind of stuff, and you can see they know things you don't know. When I finished school, it was a bit muddled up, because I didn't carry on straight away. There was about 2-year gap before I went to teachers training. So within that time, that is when I met my first man. And it was I don't even know whether it was love, whether it was, I can't even tell what it was. But I know there are so many people who get into relationships because someone else is in a relationship. It gets to a point to think, am I abnormal? Why don't I have a boyfriend? You know, those kind of stuff. To summarize, the dating was just here, there, and it is like it didn't have any meaning.
When you were younger?
Yes, okay. When I was younger. Yeah. Then after that, I went to teachers training. I was now an adult, and I still had a few boyfriends there, like just talking. Then after that, I became a teacher, and that is when I met my first husband, and that is your dad.
My father.
Yes, and I was around 23 over to 24. It was just 1 year. And we got married. We had children, and I think I was quite young. And to be honest with you, I didn't have a lot of guidance. So when we got into the marriage, I think it started off really negatively, and it's like I was never happy in it because of the kind of things that started with our marriage. Although I carried on, but I wouldn't say that I was over the moon being in that marriage.
So when did the marriage end?
The marriage ended after 9 years, when I had 2 children, and I knew that was the end. I knew that was the end. I'm not trying it again. That was the end. And after that, it wasn't easy at all, but it was peaceful. Struggling with my 2 girls, knowing what they're going to eat, what they're going to drink, what they're going to wear, which schools they're going to go, was a struggle, but it was better than having that fear of what is going to happen when he comes home. What is he going to say today? I think I liked having my children on my own because I was able to love them. I was able to express exactly what I meant. I love them without fearing anybody else is going to interrupt or do something. And although, as I say, it was hard, I gave my children so much love. I worked so hard. I provided for them. And there were moments when you feel like someone has wasted your time, you regret. And there were some moments when you thought, oh, I think if we were 2, it could have been better. But I put my children first. They were my priority. And that gave me reasons to wake up in the morning and go to work. Until they grew up, and I knew in my heart, I don't want to have someone in my life who is going to be permanent until my children are big enough. And the reason was there were 2 girls, and I didn't want anybody to come between me and my girls when they were young. When I finally decided I would want a love, and I was ready for that, then my girls were old enough. And I knew if anything happened, if someone told them anything, they were big enough to know that is inappropriate. They were big enough to be able to know that how I love them, and they can open up to me. Yeah.
That's amazing. I just had a question that popped in my mind actually as you were talking. I don't have it written down, but because I'm always so in awe of my mum's wisdom, and just, you know how you said you didn't have any guidance. So do you remember your internal guidance system? Like, did that look like anything to you? Because you seemed like you were being guided in some way, but you didn't have direct guidance. Like, you didn't have how I have you telling me and helping me out. So when you were making those decisions of leaving or knowing it's over or things like that, was it just a feeling you knew it was done? Or
I think what happened is I gave it a shot, because nobody goes to their marriage to end it the following day. I gave it a shot, and I knew I had done my part. I knew I had played my part better. I wouldn't say completely well, but I knew what I had done was enough to sustain me. So when it couldn't sustain me, I knew that is it then. One thing I knew is that I didn't have a fear what people are gonna say, because that is what kills most people. What are people gonna say? You just did a wedding, you just did this, you just did that. What are they gonna say? Back home where I'm born, everybody has my back. My dad had my back because they knew there were some frictions, and of course I had shared with them a few times. I had gone back home a few times, so they knew I was not completely happy. I had also changed physically. I looked miserable, so they knew something was not right. So in my head I knew if I went and told my dad I have decided I'm not going to stay there anymore, I knew he's got my back. The other good that gave me courage is the fact that I was working. So I knew even if my dad said you can't stay here, I would have been able to sustain myself.
Amazing. Okay, so now we were older. How was the divorced and single part transitioning to meeting Tim?
I had not actually even thought of divorce for a long time. And I remember one time, Lydia said, Mom, when are you going to get divorced?
Meaning my mom and dad, after the 9-year marriage, they separated.
Yes.
Then they just went their separate ways.
Yes. We went our separate ways. We started our life here in the UK. And I never thought about divorce. Number one, it was very far. So I could not fathom the dynamics of going through a divorce when I'm this far.
Yeah.
So,
and my dad still lived in Kenya.
In Kenya, yes. So what happened is, one time, I don't know what Lydia thought. And she said, Mom, when don't you ever consider a divorce? And I said, why? Because if anything happened to you, Mom, do you know if Dad wanted to claim anything, he would? You are still married to him. And you would be turning in your grave. I was like, haha, is it? But then it stuck in me.
Yeah.
And I thought, not even material stuff.
Yeah.
Because material stuff is material stuff. How about even going to be buried there? Because that is another right he had. After I had left and all that, and we were not communicating, and then I had to be buried there. So I thought, no, there would be someone making decisions that probably I wouldn't want because of this certificate.
Yeah.
So I made a point. And the divorce didn't go through until 2009. But I had left 1999. So 10 years down the line, I was still a Mrs.
Technically,
yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then, so that transition of divorce, single, into meeting Tim, how was that? It's the point of raising us and now we're older, but that point before you met Tim, when you were trying to date, how was that briefly?
I think I had always said, and be careful what you pray for, because sometimes when we say things consistently, repeatedly, sometimes they come to pass.
Yeah.
Because I had said and vowed that I'll never get to stay with somebody in my house when my children are young, because the adults had said that earlier. And so the divorce bit of it did not mean anything much. Only what I knew is that if I ever met anybody and they wanted to marry me, I'm free to do that. Otherwise, I still carried on with the same normal life I did before. And when now the girls were grown, I thought, I think I can now start doing dating. And there are so many dating websites. And then when you think you want to do something, you are a bit more alert. You are a bit more receptive. Before, because I didn't want to meet anybody serious, all I did is just go blindly. Yes. So when I had an intention, now I opened up my heart. I opened up my eyes, and I knew this time round I must get someone. And
then Tim came along.
Tim came along when Aggie was first year in university.
Yeah.
And I think first year in university student, that means that girl is grown.
Yes.
So as I say, be careful when you pray for stuff.
Yes.
Because Tim came along that time.
The right time. Yeah. Well, thank you. So that is a bit of background of my mum. And I'm going to ask her some questions that we speak about all the time, and also I feel could be beneficial to anybody watching. So the first question is, what do you think are the 3 ingredients that are needed in a healthy relationship?
Number 1, we say you fall in love with someone, but I don't think love would mean a lot without respect. So I normally start with respect. And then there is a bit of selflessness. And once that gets into your relationship, selflessness, because there is something I know ladies say all the time. Oh, he doesn't do this for me. He doesn't say this to me. He doesn't. What do you do yourself? What do you tell them? What do you do for them? So those 3 things, respect, love, and selflessness, they are very, very important.
We heard that. Take notes, everybody. Do you think you were too young to get married at 24?
Yes, I think I was too young. I was not exposed enough. I didn't have any guiding system. To be honest with you, I got to a point of thinking, why is there nobody who tells people what to expect when they get married? So I felt like I was still very naive. And my sister had eloped before me, and she was far from me. So there are so many things that probably she could not have told me. And so you have to figure it out yourself. It was very confusing. And then I was pregnant when I got married. So instead of figuring it out with someone, now you start figuring it out with someone and a baby. It was quite confusing.
Okay. What is something that your divorce taught you that you now implement in your current marriage?
Divorce taught me that both of us need to put a lot of effort in our marriage. It's not one person's job. And therefore, when I got married the second time, luckily, I implemented that and I said, I'm going to play my part. I'm going to do it well. I knew I had tried the first time, but I didn't have the courage to say those kind of words. But this time round, I said, I'm going to do it well. I'm going to give it all and then see the response. Because most of the time, when you give it all, when someone loves you, they'll reciprocate. So that is what I've done. I learned. That's my husband.
Husband.
Hi, baby.
Do you think it's harder to date as a single mom, and what challenges did you have?
Because I dated when I was ready, I don't think it felt really odd at all. I had a purpose. It was an intentional dating. That was not just dating. I wanted someone in my life. So it was not about you'll be going out, having drinks and going out for holiday with no meaning. So I meant to go and date and have a husband. So the only challenges that were there is he the right person? Or am I just bringing someone home and then tomorrow he's not there? But you have to take risks sometimes. You wouldn't know that. Yeah, so, well, it happened to be he was the one. So I didn't have to go through explaining things. Oh, he left, now is another one. Yeah, and I hated that idea of bringing someone today, after 2 months he's gone, and bring another one. I don't think that would have been really good for my girls. So,
I think we learned a lot from that, actually. What trait in yourself do you think you had to work around to be able to be in a healthy marriage?
The only thing I had to work around is, before, when I was angry about something, number one, I never expressed it. Number two, I withdrew. So I'll withdraw for about a week or even two, not saying anything, as if the other one is going to read my mind. And I knew if I have to do that in my second marriage, because sometimes you get to a point of like, if I say this time, I might say it the wrong way. So I might withdraw, and that is still a trait that I do. However, when I'm withdrawn, I want to focus on the good sides as well. I don't want to focus on what that bad thing that has been done to me. I want to focus on other good things. And that way, when I'm ready to sit down and talk, I will talk with so much love and respect, because I'll have also reflected on other good things that are done to me, apart from that one bit. But before, it's like, that's the only thing I saw. Oh, you've done it, you've wronged me, you've done this. So even when we have to speak, even after a week or two, it's still with bitterness. But this time round, even if I withdrew, I reflect on the good sides as well. And that is one thing I've learned, and I have implemented it.
I think that's such a good point as well, because us women, whew, hey, we like that silent treatment. You know, I don't know what it is, but
it's control. Even
necessarily if it's not that much length of a silent treatment, just that kind of offish attitude, you know, when you're not expressing yourself and you're expecting someone else to maybe read your mind or know exactly what it is.
I think, to be honest, if you feel really mad about something, you can say, excuse me, there is something that is in my head that is bothering me regarding what we discussed earlier. Just give me some time.
Yes.
And I think he will know what you mean. That way, even if you're sulking, he knows there's something in your mind.
Yes.
And you're working on it.
It's not that silent treatment that has no answer.
And I think that the earlier one, when you haven't said anything, he's the one thinking what has happened. I think that is the control bit. But the other one, because you have already expressed what is happening, because you still love this person, you still respect them. When you're ready, he knows.
Yes.
Because right now, Tim knows. It doesn't matter how mad I am. I'll never shout at him. Never. I never shouted before, but I would never shout at all. Never. However mad I am.
Yeah.
So I would rather keep quiet, think about it, and he knows how I'll handle it, and then sit down. I don't think that doesn't make him shiver.
Yeah.
It still makes him shiver because he doesn't know what I will say, and,
when you
and the decisions I'll make about it.
Yeah.
So he's still shivering, but he knows I'm not going to shout and I'm not going to be rude.
Yes. So it's like the difference between toxic projection and healthy boundaries, because you still want to validate yourself and feel what you need to feel, but you can express that to someone in a healthy way and then have your time without the conflict there. Yeah, I love that. Some advice on how to resolve conflict in a relationship.
I think I've just said it.
Okay, so healthy boundaries.
If you have something that is really disturbing you, know that he won't read your mind. Know that you have to put it on the table. The question is, how do you put it on the table? Because sometimes...
Wait a moment for silence.
We put things on the table that will even provoke and trigger things, start things in a bad way than when you had not said anything. Learn how to put those things on the table. Let him now give you a reason to shout if you have to. Yes, let him give you a reason to shout.
But the way you approach it.
But the way you approach it, he won't be left with no, unless he's sick.
That's very true.
You approach it, he won't have any reason to argue back.
I honestly think whether it's conscious or not, I think I learned that from you about not arguing. I cannot say I've ever had a full-blown argument with my boyfriend now or a boyfriend before, even if the relationship was unhealthy, just simply because my mom has always said the way you approach something has such a big factor on how it's responded. Because I could be angry and I'm in my right to be angry about something, so it's not to say you discredit that, but I've noticed the way you approach a man with a problem is probably 80%.
It is.
Because if you approach it with love or just like, you know, this is how I feel, A, B, and C, there's nowhere to go, like mom said, unless they're sick. There's nowhere to shout. There's nothing they have to combat against. So then it ends up being a discussion. I'm not saying I've never had discussions, just not blazing arguments, because it doesn't need to go there.
Yeah.
I love that point. What about Tim made you know he's the one?
From the moment I met that guy, I don't know whether he got crazy, I don't know, but he never stopped. This guy was on my face. He was on my face, almost suffocating. Every single time, organizing this, out for dinner, going this, to a point, even if there were two of them, I still could have ended up with him. Because the other one could not have had even a moment with me.
Yeah.
You know, he was on and on and on.
Yes.
And I think that one made me think, do you think this man is wasting his time? I don't think so, because he's an adult, he's a mature man. I don't think he would have done,
man.
and very, very busy.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have spent all that time with me just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
So I got to a point of thinking, this guy is serious.
Yeah.
He's so much into me, that is quite suffocating. So I had no choice.
And honestly, because I've been there through the whole journey, and I'm so glad that I've been an adult to see it as an adult point of view instead of just a child who just seen Tim. But literally, consistency. We have a quote, me, Lydia, even my friends, we say, get you a Tim. Hashtag get you a Tim. Hashtag team Tim. Just for the sheer consistency we've seen, mom. Like from day one, not day 17, day one, he has been so consistent. And to watch your mom receive that kind of love, yeah, it's been beautiful. So consistency, there you go. Is there anything you find particularly challenging about being in an interracial marriage?
I think it's not challenging, but there are times you think, oh, if, like now when we did our wedding and all that, there are some things you think, if I was marrying a Kikuyu Kenyan man, we could have done this, we could have had these celebrations, this could have had a meaning, something like that. But the thing is, because I already had those before, I didn't miss them because I know what that means. If someone said, have you had a traditional kind of a marriage? I had that with Aggie's dad. So I know what that means. So I had a taste of it. I didn't miss it as much. However, there is something that comes into your head and you think, oh, if it was a Kenyan man, this could have happened. Their parents could have gone to my family.
Like the Interracial, yes, and like the traditional ways.
Yes, there could have been a bit of a more extended now family, you know. Whereas here, I don't even think even the team's dad will ever go to Kenya. Because that is not what they do. Yeah. So those are the kind of small things, but it's not a challenge or a regret. But those are the kind of things that come into your head and think, oh, if it was a Kenyan guy, a Kikuyu guy, this could have happened, but it didn't because of this.
Yeah. So your video went viral. Yeah. Right? The thing
5.3.
We have a group chat, right? Me, Mom, Lydia, and Tim. And, you know, we've been putting the video in there and like showing the update and stuff. And there was a point where it was on, you know, when it got to 1 million, we thought that's it. You know, got 1.5, 2, 3, wait, what, 4? And when it was on 4.5, Mom sent a message in the group chat. I was like, oh, Mom, it's on 4 or something. She was like, text me when it's at 5 million. Can you imagine? Lo and behold, I was like, Mom, it's at 5. She's like, okay, now we'll talk. So your video has gone viral. People love. So there are people who were just like so happy they could see the love that was radiating in that video. Basically, just for context, Mom and Tim were going for a date night. And they looked amazing, and he was old, like, you know, bow tie. Was it a tie? It was a bow tie. A bow tie. Mom had a beautiful red dress, her like best bag, and they went into Tim's car, Aston Martin. And when they were literally getting ready, I was just taking a video of them because they looked so good. And in that moment, Tim opened the door for Mom. So the video is Tim opening the door for Mom, Mom getting in so elegantly, and I waved them off and I captioned it, this is your gentle reminder never to settle, right? Just a cute little video. Anyway, went viral. Some of the comments, people were only seeing the materialistic thing. People were seeing the Aston Martin, Tim being white, my mom being black. So there was things that were nothing to do with the video. But when I posted a later video of how Mom and Tim met, there was not one single negative comment. So your video went viral, and the people who were talking about money and materialism and things like that, what would you say to those people?
I don't know why I think it's almost obvious. Some people will see it that way. But it's almost obvious some people will see the love because people see things differently. So those people who saw the material stuff, and some of them were saying, oh, get the bag and all this kind of stuff, that's fine if you see the material. However, material is good, and I know the independence having money brings you. But that cannot buy you the love. The material things that you saw could not make Tim open that car for me.
Ooh.
So you could have seen the Aston Martin, you could have seen the nice dress I was wearing, you could have seen the nice bag I was wearing, but that cannot make Tim open the door for me. What made Tim open the door for me is the love and respect he's got for me. Full stop.
Good night. Let's go. That's it. It's over. Right. Perfect, Mom. That is, yeah. I have nothing else to add. What's one thing you make sure you do every single day to contribute to your relationship? I actually think I know two, but I want you to answer and see if I have observed correctly.
Number one, I keep my man near my heart all the time. And when I do that, I'm thinking of him. Like now he's on the journey. He was going far to do some stuff for business, and thinking of how was his journey? Is he there yet? Those kind of things, and express that. Ask that question. Are you there yet? You don't have to keep on calling because you don't even know whether he's with patience or that. But that kind of a text. Are you there yet? Are you safe? Those kind of things make you know that you have your man at heart. You are thinking about him, which is very, very good. The other thing is, I never get tired to make my man smile. Every single day. Sometimes I can just come up with something and I would look at him and I say like, ooh, you look handsome today. You know, just from nowhere. And that is going to make him blush, kind of, you know. It will make him smile. And of course, he'll respond back. So those small talks, they might look useless, but they make someone know who you are to them. The other thing is, I take Tim's stuff like it's my problem all the time. Right now, we stay different homes, like in the week. he will go for about 2 or 3 days away, and then he'll come back home. I am the one who knows exactly what happens in the other home. And that way, I don't give any other person a reason to go and clean that house. So I have the home here where we spend on the weekend, and then I make sure it is intentional. I'll go deliberately to make sure that room is that place is cleaned. Everything is steady for him. Everything is comfortable for him. When he goes to work, he doesn't have to worry, oh, I'll go home and do this. Cooking, I can't do cooking to homes, but the major things of making sure everything is steady, he's comfortable, that one is with me all the time. And I know that has contributed too much to our relationship.
Oh, I love those. I like the keeping him close to your heart. And it's almost like, I guess the way I feel how you are with us.
Yeah.
You know, it's how you keep us close, and you're always like, you know, what would I do? I would always ask where they are. That's a really nice way to put it. The ones I was gonna say, and these are the two things I have learned from my mom and Tim that I have factored into my current relationship. Number one, they pray together. Now, the way mom explains how that brings brings them closer, it gives them a ritual to look forward to each day, whether someone is gonna not go to bed right after, you know, whether one of you is gonna go to bed and the other one isn't. They close the day together, and even if you've had an altercation and you pray, there's something that just, even if you have your stuff you're dealing with, we're praying now, and then we'll figure this out. Or even if in the prayer you say, oh God, please help us with what's happening right now. Tim is like, oh, please help Anna not be mad at me.
He apologizes through the prayer.
Yeah, whatever it is, I think prayer, especially now in my relationship, has become such an anchor, because it's almost like you're giving your relationship to a higher power.
Yes.
It's not just you two figuring it out. You're like, give us guidance. Heavens, God, the Lord, universe, you know, do that for us. I've learned that. And then this one, whether it's mom or Tim that's at home, when someone enters the door, you would think they haven't seen each other in 17 years. It is nearly 8 years down the line, guys, and it's the same. Mom will stop whatever she's doing, and even Lydia said that you do this with us. This is something that I think you've always done, so it's not like we get different treatment. When we enter a house, or when mom enters the home, she gives us that first minute, and she's like, hi darling, how are you? So I've watched her do that to Tim, and seeing how Tim receives that, and the impact that has in their evening, in the conversation that follows straight away. If mom's on the phone, she's like, okay, I'll call you back. Hi, honey. That 1 minute she'll call back. She will continue that conversation. When mom has left, Tim almost breaks his ankle.
He goes like,
to run. Yeah, they'll to the point where sometimes they meet each other at the drive. Like, the front door isn't enough, because they're anticipating so much that they're gonna get there. That's 8 years down the line, and they're still doing that. And I don't wonder why you're still together and still so happy. I don't wonder, because I see it's every day. And you always say, Mom, every day is a new day. Every day is new, and they're new each day. They're like, honey, sweetheart, darling, honey. That's all they say to each other. So those are the two I would say that you actively do every single day.
Yeah, you asked for 3.
I know, I asked for 1.
Oh, I could have said 10, but we don't have time.
We don't have time. So lastly, last question. When you pray for your daughters and for the kind of men you hope they end up with, what are the things you pray for?
I love my children so much. And the thought of one day someone might mistreat my child, that one is, I don't even want to think about it. However, I know there is a God, and he hears our prayers. And as Aggie says, putting God first in a relationship is very, very important. We've done that with Tim, and we have seen what that does to our lives. So what I do is leave that to God as well. I pray that my children will meet people who are gonna see their worth. They don't have to prove anything. I know I've brought up my girls in a very respectful way, and that is for sure. I know they know how to love. I know they respect people. I know they're not this kind of girls who bring trouble for no reason, just because there is trouble. You know my children will always want peace. They'll always give and give until you give them a reason not to give anymore. So it's true. So I pray that their men will value them. I pray that my girls will have so much respect for their men until their men won't have a choice but to respect them back. And I pray that even the families where they'll get married, the mothers, they'll receive them as daughters. And let me tell you, if you're here watching and you think your son is with one of my daughters or with both of my daughters, I'm telling you, these are gems. They come with so much love. They bring value. They'll bring value into your son's life. They're just gems to be with. I always told people, I have 2 girls, great girls, and even if they were not my children, I would still say that because I know they're great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, how cute, Mom. Oh, this has been great. That was my last question.
Yeah.
That was my last question. My rule of thumb with my mom, with everything that we speak about, she always says, as long as there's love and respect, you can get through anything. Yes. And I have carried that into my own stuff that's come up in my relationship and into anything really, and it's been great.
The last thing that I'm going to sum up the whole thing is, don't ever take your relationship like someone else's relationship. Don't say, I'm going to do this to my man, I'm going to do this to my girlfriend because so and so does that to theirs. Every relationship is tailored to the people who are in it. Don't apply stuff if you think they're not working for you. Don't say, I can't iron for my man because so and so doesn't iron for her boyfriend or for her husband. Or don't apply those kind of stuff into your relationship. Do you do what you think is right for you? I could be ironing for my husband and another husband could be ironing for his wife, and still that is okay. Don't do things just because other people do. Do it right for yourself, because if you copy somewhere, you might copy, and just like we are saying, you might say, when my husband comes home, I'll make a point. I'll be hugging him. I'll be telling him, how are you? Welcome, and all that. And you can get into that habit, and it can work for you, and it's good. What I'm trying to say is, don't do things that you do and then halfway you can't do anymore because you copied and it's not for you. Yes. Do what is yours. I've done stuff for team day in, day out, year in, year out, and I haven't gotten tired, and I won't get tired because that's who I am. He's done things for me that he won't get tired anytime soon or ever, because that is what he is. So if you think you can try and do some of the things that I've just said and you're not ready to do them, don't start. Because you start and then halfway down the line you stop. You see? So be yourself. Give what you can give yourself.
So inside out, not outside in.
Yes. From in out.
That makes sense. That makes perfect.
If you think it's good to pray, it's good. And I've told my children to do that. But if someone doesn't, I can't say that they're doing anything against what my values. No,
100%. I think that's why it's like, understand you first, understand the vision you do have for your relationship, and then take the bits and bobs. You know, I know the end goal of my current relationship, so I feel like something like prayer is implementing the future of where I wanted to go. That's why I feel like it was so easy to just be like, oh my god, that makes so much sense. It didn't feel like, oh, Mom and Tim pray, so let us pray. So that's why I'm saying, understand you first, and then if you see something that inspires you, make sure that taps into what you actually have the goal for, because like Mom said, you won't be able to last long in doing it if it's actually not genuine. It's unfortunate that some women would want to implement that, or some men would want to implement that, but then their spouses or their partners come about 2 a.m. drunk. So how would you even do that? That went left.
It did when go left.
There's situations where you're not able to do it.
You would want to, you would desire to, you would admire that kind of a thing. But then where are they? So what do you say in that situation? Maybe they pray for themselves. Just pray for them. Pray for yourself, pray for them. Or you can sit down and tell him, I would like us to be praying if we can, you know, to pray for us, to pray for our children, to, you know, if he's a man who can listen and adjust into things, you can say that in a loving way. And I I would want you to be coming a bit earlier, so when we're sleeping we can pray together as a family, something like that. And he probably can understand. Yeah.
But that is it. Oh, how was that?
That was good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed you on my channel, and I want you more often. I think that people love you more than they love me. Let's just be honest, guys. You really follow me because of her. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I have thoroughly enjoyed that. I hope you learned something. You know, comment down below what you've learned, whether you have any other lessons. Like I said, do not forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I will tag my Instagram just so that you can see much more mother, daughter, and you can even see the viral video on my Instagram. But yeah, that's it for today, and you will definitely be seeing more of her. Any last words, Mama?
Yeah, I would just thank you so much, Aggie's fans, for following her and following her YouTube channels, and I really enjoyed that. Even if you don't take everything, if you take only one single thing from what I said, I'll say hallelujah.
Hallelujah! Thank you, guys, and see you next time. Bye!